Welcome to today's
Just a bit outside.
Today we're going to talk about my worst fear. Now, what happened was I have a job besides this. Obviously, I'm not monetized, so I have to work, and I have a job where I deal with a lot of airport transportation. Now, every day I do deal from anywhere from 20 to 50 people a day, so it gets busy. Plus, some of the drama I have to deal with in my life lately, so that's kind of what's leading up to this. I picked up this person at the airport. Now, I've dealt with this person a million times, and I think that this person is really, really cool. We've had just great conversations, but unfortunately, I only see this person once every 3 weeks to once a month. So basically what happened was that I picked this person up at the airport, I'm bringing her back, and all of a sudden I have forgotten her name. And it's pretty obvious, so I was just totally embarrassed. And to this, I still have no idea what the person's name was. I think I know what it is, but because of the time passage, I'm so afraid to say it because I don't want to insult the person. Now, ironically, on the other side of the sheet of paper, I actually wrote down what I think the person's name is. I'm keeping it in my wallet, hoping that that is the name. If not, I'm going to be pretty embarrassed again. However, I want to kind of get to my worst fear part. Now, I want to add a little funny story to go with this real quick. I had a friend back when I was in high school and beginning of college in Virginia, and I ran into him in a movie theater. And he was on a date. So I see him, I'm glad to talk to him and everything. I'm like, hey, what are you doing here? We start talking. Well, he had this date with him. So he looks at the date and then he points to me and he goes, this is Jeff. And then he goes, and Jeff, this is, and then he stops and he freezes. And he goes, wait a minute, I know it. And he was totally embarrassed. He told me that later on he did remember his date's name, but he was really embarrassed. That's kind of the embarrassment I felt yesterday. However, I've never done it on a date. This was just a person I deal with from the airport a lot. So my worst fear, though, is that this person thought I was a clod. Now, it's not about what people think of me. However, at the same time, I've never wanted to be the guy that just doesn't get it. We all know this person. This is the guy that when you go to Publix, you have 2 items you're paying for. This guy butts in front of you and they've got a cart full of groceries. They don't care. They want to pay for it. You probably had that friend or that relative, the same thing, where you're talking to each other and you realize, wow, this person just doesn't get it. So that's kind of the fear I have, and this is kind of what inspired this video, was what happened yesterday, because I'm embarrassed. This was a person that I thought, this is a potential for at least a friendship, and my memory fails me, so and that is my worst fear, by the way. So I just don't ever want to be that guy that doesn't get it. So I guess where I want to kind of take this is, we all probably know people like this, but we probably have also been that person ourselves at some point in our life. And so that's what I wanted to kind of talk about was, when you're dealing with people, do you sit there and think to ask them, how are you doing? Just find out what's going on in their life. Find out, what have they been up to? Where have they been going? Is there some kind of issue in their life? Sometimes I have found that people have the biggest smiles on their face. I talk to them, come to find out they're going through some of the darkest times in their life, yet they've managed to put a smile on their face. So I think what I'm saying is, we all need to be careful in our lives to make sure that we don't become that guy that just doesn't get it. Because there are so many of them out there. I mean, so many people you meet, and you can tell by talking to them, there's just a little bit of a narcissism to them. They never ask you how you're doing. They, focus talking about themselves, and everything they do is just inward. And I think one of the ways we can improve ourselves as a society is just occasionally just check ourselves. Am I becoming that guy that just doesn't get it? Or am I really showing myself to be a true friend to somebody? Am I showing myself to actually be a good listener? Listening is 99% of it. And so that's a big part of our lives, of just making sure that we don't ever become that person. And so it was just a thought for the day. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget, by the way, to like and subscribe the video. Ring the bell if you want notifications for future videos. And also check out my other channel, Footprints in American History. That's actually my main channel. That's going to be a lot of American history in the videos. They're going to be lesser known stories you haven't heard about. This channel is also going to feature a lot of stories like that also. However, it's not going to be simply limited to American history. In the meantime, I'm Jeff Dial. Have a great day.
Just a bit outside.